Hi guys, I am Chapa and I'm back with Maths XYZ, and today we'll still be continuing with reduction formulas on trigonometry, of which it will be our last lesson on reduction formulas. Alright, as I've already mentioned on our last lesson, that the most important thing that you need to know in reduction formula is this Cartesian plane, of which this is 0 degrees, 90, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and 360 degrees. And then in the first quadrant, we have all trigonometric ratios being positive. In the second quadrant, we have only sine being positive. And in the third, it's tan being positive. And in the last quadrant, which is the fourth quadrant, only cos is positive. Then again, in the first quadrant, we have 90 degrees minus theta, of which all trigonometric ratios are positive when they have 90 degrees minus theta. In the second one, we have 90 plus theta degrees and also 180 minus theta. In the third one, we have 180 plus theta and 270 minus theta. In the fourth one, we have 270 plus theta and 360 minus theta. Lastly, in the first quadrant again, we have 360 plus theta. Then again, you must also take into consideration the negative theta, which is only positive when it's in the fourth quadrant. That means for sine and tan, the negative theta, it remains as negative, because sine of negative theta is equals to negative sine theta, and a tan of negative theta is still a negative tan theta. But then a cos of negative theta, the answer is positive cos theta. Then again, you must take into consideration the 90 plus or minus theta and the 270 plus or minus theta, which are the cofunction of sine and cos. That means that if it's a sine of 90 minus theta, the answer will be equals to cos, because sine changes into cos and cos changes into sine. But then with tan does not change because of the cofunctions. Alright, okay, let's just go straight into an example to see how we can approach questions on reduction formulas using this Cartesian plane. Alright, the first one is sine. It's sine 120 multiplied by a sine of 202 multiplied by, of 202 multiplied by a tan of 68. Tan of 68 divided by a sine of negative 68 multiplied by a tan of 420. All right. The first one, which is a sine of 120, to change it, we have 180 minus 60, of which when we subtract these two numbers, they give us 120. And the second one, a sine of 202, it actually is 180 plus 22 to give us 202. And the tan of 60, we leave it as it is, because I can see that this is sine of negative 68 at the denominator. That means somehow, somewhere they have to divide out. Then this one is a tan of 68, just leaving it as it is, divide by a sine of negative theta. It's actually negative sine theta, of which theta in this case is equal to 68. And then a tan of 420. Remember what I've told you in our previous lessons, that if an angle is over 360, what you must do is to subtract 360 first from the angle that you are given. So 420 minus 360, it gives us 60, of which now we'll have a tan of 60. A 60 is already an acute angle. That means that we don't really need to go further by subtracting something to give us a 60 degrees. It's already an acute angle. Remember, the main purpose of reduction formulas is to reduce any trig ratio to be expressed as an acute angle. An acute angle is any angle which is less than 60, which is less than 90 degrees. All right, and then from here, we're going to have sine 180 minus theta is in the second quadrant, of which sine is also positive. That means here we're going to have sine 60. 180 plus 22 is in the third quadrant, where sine is negative. So we're going to have minus sine of 22 multiplied by a tan of 68 divided by a negative sine 68, and then multiplied by a tan of 60. All right. And then here we can change this one to be equals to sine 68 divided by cos 68. But then what I will do here is to have this, is just to separate them. When I have sine 60 divided by a tan of 60 multiply by a sine of negative 22, no sorry, a negative sine 22 multiply by a sine, sorry guys, divide by a negative sine 68, I meant to say. Let's divide by that. So we'll be left with that one, which is tan 68, way of which we're gonna change it to be sine 68 divided by cos 68. Alright, now this and this will cancel out, and the negative as well will cancel out. We'll be left with sine 22 and cos 68. Then we can now change cos 68 to be equals to cos of 90 minus 22. A cos of 90 minus 22, 90 minus 22 is in the first quadrant, of which all trigonometric ratios are positive. That means that the answer will now be positive sine 22, because 90 is a cofunction. Now we have a positive sine 22, of which it will cancel with this one right here. Then we'll be left with sine 60 divided by tan 60. Then a sine of 60 in special angle is equals to 3 over 2 divided by tan 60, which is equals to root 3. This, when we divide them, it will give us 1 over 2. It's equals to 1 over 2. Alright guys, I hope you understood this example. Let's go to the next example and see how we can be dealing with reduction formulas, on how to solve questions on reduction formulas. Alright, this one here we're gonna be, it's sine squared 225 multiplied by, actually minus a tan of negative theta plus, sorry, it's actually plus cos of 90 minus theta, alright, divide by sine of negative theta plus cos of negative 120, and then plus tan of negative 180 minus theta. Alright, then the first one, starting with the first one, we have sine of 225. When we change it, it will be 180 plus 45. That means all squared then, because there's a squared then, minus tan theta, of which, remember, tan negative angle is still negative tan theta. So with this one, it will multiply with the minus, then it will be positive tan theta. And then 90 minus theta is in the first quadrant. That means cos is also positive. And then because it's a cofunction, because the cofunction is, that means that it will change into sine. Then it will be plus sine theta. Divide by a negative sine of negative angle is equals to negative sine theta. And then this one, a cos of negative angle is equals to positive cos theta, of that angle I meant to say. Then this one will be cos of 180, changing the 120 minus 60. And then a tan of negative angle, remember we have to take a common factor of a negative there. Then it will be tan, common factor of negative, then it will be 180 plus theta. Alright, then the first one here, sine of 180 plus 45 is in the third quadrant, where sine is negative. Then it will be negative sine 45 squared plus tan theta plus sine theta divided by a negative sine theta, and then this one, it will be minus cos 60. And then for that one, tan of negative angle is equals to negative that or negative tan. But then because of 180 plus theta is in the third quadrant, where tan is positive, then it will be minus tan theta. Alright? Then moving here to this part, negative sine 45 is the same as, according to special angles, negative of 45 is equals to, sine 45 is equals to root 2 over 2, alright, squared. Then plus tan of 45, which is tan of theta, I mean to say, plus sine of theta there. Then here we're going to have minus theta, and according to special angles, minus cos 60 is equals to minus 1 over 2 plus tan theta. Alright, then this one, which is root 2 over 2 squared, it will be the same as 2 over 4, which is also 1 over 2. Then here we're going to have 1 over 2 plus tan theta plus sine theta. Alright, all divide by, I will take a common factor of the denominator of a negative into 1 over 2, just grouping them to be the same as the numerator, 1 over 2 plus tan theta plus sine theta. Then what we have here, the numerator and the denominator will cancel out and we'll be left with -1. Alright, guys, I hope you also understood this example. The thing that you must know is they are all in the Cartesian plane. Whatever you have written in the Cartesian plane, it will give you answers of all questions in reduction formulas. Like the tan of negative theta, we know that a tan of negative theta from the Cartesian plane is a negative tan theta cos. It only becomes positive when it's cos of negative theta. Alright, the example for this one is cos of negative 120. It remains as a positive cos, or 120, because the negative theta is positive in the fourth quadrant. Alright, and then for this one, because we have negative angle, what we do is to take out the common factor of a negative and remain with 180 plus theta in the brackets. Then the tan of negative angle is equals to negative tan theta because of 180 plus theta is in the third quadrant. Alright, and you solve this according to what you have written already have in your Cartesian plane. It will always get you to the right answer. Okay, I hope you enjoyed our lesson on reduction formulas, and if you have any question on reduction formulas, please drop us a comment and then we'll have a follow-up on it. Please don't forget to subscribe to Maths XYZ and also to share the videos with your friends. Thank you.